This is the very red interior of the 2020 Lexus RX. Now, this has been updated for 2020, and at first glance, it looks exactly the same. In fact, it looks identical, and that's just fine because this is one of the better looking and better made interiors in the luxury midsize segment. But if you look closer, things are a little different. Now, this is the Lexus Remote Touch touchpad. Now, this hadn't been in the RX before. Lexus specifically kept the weird joystick thing that was there before. In some ways that was better, and the touchpad is a bit worse. So on one hand you can say that, wait, this car has actually become less easy to use for 2020? Ah, not so. Now, this looks like the same widescreen unit that was in the RX before. However, it's now a touchscreen. This is the first Lexus to have a touchscreen in addition to remote touch. It makes a world of difference, because before, in order to go between these radio stations, you'd have to select and go back and forth with this touchpad, and that drew your attention away from the road. There's a lot of dexterity needed to go between these things. I'm just trying to go radio replay, and I still haven't hit it. Instead, I can just go click. There, I want that. What you see is click it, and that makes a big difference. At the same time, if you're just going between radio presets, sometimes it is easier to actually use this touchpad because your hand can stay where it is, and the screen, this is the downside, is pretty far away from the driver relative to other touchscreens, and it's the result of this not being intended to have a touchscreen from the beginning. But that's not the only addition for 2020. This now comes with Apple Carplay as well as Android Auto. Although other Lexus models had it, this is the first time the RX does as well. But here's where the touchscreen also has an advantage over all those Lexus models, because if you want to watch a baseball game when those things happen again, you just press the button. Before, you'd have to, in all the other Lexuses, I should say, you actually have to go slide your hand over each individual. It's annoying. Touchscreen, much better for this. Now, compared to, say, the other systems in the segment, I think it's now kind of goes down to personal preference. In some ways, this system is now easier than the at times overwhelming systems in Mercedes and BMW. Those are very pretty. There's lots of different ways to control everything, but they can overwhelm and be confusing, especially if you're kind of new to a more advanced, high-priced luxury car, if it's been a while since you've had a new car. This is just a little simpler, especially now with this touchscreen. So both in terms of comparisons to other Lexus models, as well as just improving the RX from what it was before, the 2020, as a result of this touchscreen and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, are far improved and far superior as well.